no official opinion on that. I have no official opinion on that, and you know it, and you know that I never will. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens, octopuses, cuttlefish, Jack the Ripper.
What do these have in common?
These are all things that want humanity dead, and we know it.
Whoa!
These are all murderers
you are not wrong.
that have no love for mankind.
Actively plotting our destruction.
Looking forward to the day they eliminate us and then sit atop the food chain. That's
Laughing,
what we know.
Laughing,
or
ink.
in the case of the octopuses and the cuttlefish, sometimes their laughter is sometimes active camouflage, which is one of the reasons they will eventually destroy us. Whereas Jack the Ripper, I think, like, I don't know, is big cloak and stovepipe hat, or is that just what we think? Do we have any proof
I think that's
that it was
just
big
what we
cloak?
think, but I do know that he spews ink when he laughs. I mean,
he does spew ink,
that's
but he
classic.
doesn't have active camouflage.
No, it's more passive, really.
It's more passive. It's just the cloak and the stovepipe hat. You know what's funny is when I picture Jack the Ripper, there are only two people I can picture. Number one is Donald Pleasance, because of that movie Time After Time that he did with Malcolm McDowell, the 70s. Which got turned into a terrible TV series, which I was really bummed about. But and then the second thing I picture is just an Edward Gorey illustration.
Yeah, Edward Gorey illustration is what I picture. When I picture Jack the Ripper, it's just crazy angles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, weird, like,
and he's got that weird hunch, like that hump.
Yeah,
like it's
Why
very
is that?
Addams
Where did we
Family.
both get that from? It's got to be a thing, right?
I think it's just media that we were exposed to and creepy things that when we were children, and it all kind of lumps together into. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of a Babadook. You know,
yes,
it's kind of like
totally
a Babadook.
Absolutely a Babadook. Babadook and Jack the Ripper in my head, very similar looking.
Very similar, and as we all know, octopuses are nature's Babadook. They're murderers and they're gay icons.
Yes. Yes.
But here's the thing that we always thought about octopuses that now may no longer be true. And we found this out thanks to Kev McGee in the Discord. Thank you for submitting this story. We always thought of octopuses as loners, right?
Just like Jack the Ripper.
Just like Jack the Ripper. Just like Edward Gorey and the Babadook.
Just like me at age 13.
Just like me. Just like all of us in the year 2020. So no, our picture of octopuses has always been like they are hunters, they are ruthless, they are mean, they keep apart from one another. There's no word for a pod of octopuses or a herd of octopuses because they simply do not group together. They are antisocial creatures. They come together.
Why would they need an extra pair of hands? They've got 8. You know what I'm saying?
It takes a village or 8 arms is what they always say. And
that's right.
Look at what's up with these guys.
I played Octodad.
I know what's going. Well, that's just a game about a regular father.
I don't know if you've played that, but he's
that's a regular dad. Yeah, he's just a regular dad. I played through the entire game. I don't get. Okay.
He's got
he's got a suit.
Dad.
Yeah, he's a suit. He's got a suit. So there's one particular octopus that I always picture when I picture an octopus. One is like a real drunk Mario looking one. He's all like, woo! But the actual one, I'm only, here's the thing, Jeff, today I'm only going to tell you one realistic and one completely unrealistic way I picture everything. That's the rule from now on.
It's usually we don't even get the realistic one, just the unrealistic one.
Just the unrealistic. So it's either Donald Pleasance or the Babadook. And for octopuses, it's either that like drunk cartoon Mario looking octopus, or it is the gloomy octopus. You know, the Sydney octopus? You probably, if I show you a picture of it, you'd know.
That's the octopus. If you said, Jeff, draw an octopus, I'd draw a very poor rendition of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the one I also associate it with like rum labels, you know?
Okay,
like,
sure.
It's just very, oh, he eats his chocolate, but he's still not a drinker. Okay, I get it. I get it. He's a real chocolate eater these days, but still knows nothing about alcohol, this teetotaler. Okay, but yes, if you hear, these are the ones that don't have the super long tentacles, but they're not like a Humboldt squid looking thing. These are more like, they've got like the kind of like droopy heads, the long droopy heads, and like
they
the
look
shorter
like
tentacles.
yeah,
and they
it's
there's always a viral video of them like walking along a beach real fast, and people are like, "Look at this octopus," and it's like,
this is like the mind flayer head, or the you put two little googly eyes on it, and in fact, I just the other night I made my kids octo dogs. You ever make an octo dog?
Those are just regular dogs.
You cut them so that the legs are floppy.
Right,
you got floppy legs, and you make an octo dog. And I put little cheese doodles as eyeballs. Oh, they looked just like what you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember those. My mom tried to make me those a couple times, and I still wouldn't eat a hot dog. I thought hot dogs were the grossest things in the world. Oh, yeah. So the gloomy octopus is what most of us picture as the standard octopus. It's the common Sydney octopus, a lot of them off the coast of Australia, and we think of them as the loner octopus. But here's the thing. We now have some proof that these octopuses live in small cities of their own construction.
What?
Yeah.
We didn't know that octopuses had, I know they had a garden, but we didn't know they had an entire town. Like there's a little city and they hang out, and then we only see them come out by themselves once in a while, and we think, oh, you're loners, but they're actually coming back home late at night and hanging out at the little octopus pub in Octopus Town.
I think this might be like an octopus Wakanda. I think because they're
it's
so
hidden
smart.
They're hidden behind octopus hologram technology.
Yeah, it's a Wakanda or a Eureka or something like that, where it's all just they're just hidden behind this smoke screen of active camouflage, and they do their incredibly smart octopus things. Now, is that true? Let's find out. The results may shock you, because once again, I'm going to give you what I picture and then the realistic thing that I picture. So, off of Jervis Bay in eastern Australia, researchers found 15 gloomy octopuses dwelling together, communicating, congregating.
Not so gloomy.
Collaborating. And
happy octopuses.
Voting other octopuses out of the city.
They had Tiny Survivor?
It's Tiny reality show Octopus City. Coming to Netflix.
Wow. Tiny Octopus Masked Singer?
That's what it is. It's Tiny Octopus Love is Blind. It's Tiny Octopus Hot Island. What was the name of Hot Island one?
I don't know.
Too Hot to Handle.
Matter.
You don't know. It
sure
matters,
it is.
Jeff. It was very good.
Sure.
But so a team of marine biologists led by Professor David Scheel of Alaska Pacific University filmed these creatures exhibiting complex social behaviors that completely contradict the wisdom that these cephalopods are loners. They have named this city, Jeff.
Oh, I can't wait.
Octlantis.
Octlantis! That's perfect. I love that so much. Octlantis. Now, let me ask you this question. Is this something that had always been happening, or is this a new development in the octopus community? Like, did we just not know they were doing this for years and years, or is this a unique occurrence that has evolved in this particular place?
Buddy, that's why I like doing this show with you. You ask all the right questions, because that's the first thing that popped into my head too, right? If there's one of these cities, surely they've been plotting in other cities. Surely they've been gathering in multiple forts, fortresses, compounds to take us out.
Exactly. Yes.
So, in 2009, not far away from Jervis Bay, where Octlantis is located, there is...
If there's an Octlantis, is there an Octorando? What's the other?
Octorango? Octorado?
Octorado. There we go.
The lost
Octorado.
octopus city of gold?
Yeah. There's got to be, right?
Well, there isn't, but there is an Octopolis.
That's where Octo Superman lives.
Yeah. and there's no way we're going to stop Octo Superman.
Is there an
Octo Lex Luthor?
An Octum City?
There probably is deeper and darker in a crevasse. So Octopolis was discovered in 2009, and it was considered a total anomaly, right? Because in both of these cities, okay, octopuses are showing behaviors that we associate with natural selection. We think about it as the behavior shown in complex vertebrates. This is crazy stuff, but we've now seen it happen twice. Now, when they first found Octopolis in 2009, the thinking was Octopolis was a fluke that was created because there is some sort of single object that fell into the ocean or sunk in the ocean that was man-made. It was unfortunately sort of decayed to the point where they couldn't recognize what it was. But it was this metal object that had fallen into the sea and had created like a central point with a couple places where octopuses could create dens. And it was kind of a food-rich environment. So they were like, well, the octopuses would never do this, but because this was such an abundant food source with ready-made shelter, they dealt with it, right? It
caused an aberrant behavior. It caused something that wasn't normal. But now we think it's normal because there's more than one city.
Right. And Octlantis has no pre-existing structures. The structures that make up Octlantis, these multiple dens.
They built houses?
They built these dens, Jeff. They built them.
Just a den? I mean, there's no like living room or bedroom or anything?
You could call it a den. Colloquially, in certain regions, it's called a man cave. You know?
Yeah. I mean, none of the octopuses would use that term. That's just ridiculous. No. It's clearly a den.
No, they call it a den or a lair. Maybe that's what a group of octopuses should be, is a lair.
A lair of octopuses. That's pretty rad. We found a lair. We discovered a new lair.
I think it's a murder of crows and a lair of octopuses. Anything that can use tools against us deserves something foreboding as their name. So yeah, they built this themselves.
So how did they craft these dens? Is it built out of things that they brought in, like birds, like bringing in things from externally, or do they it would sort mess with the stuff that was there?
So they sort of built it out of matter that was already pre-existing there, as well as, and I expected this. It's also built out of the bones and carcasses of the things that they have hunted.
Oh, it's definitely a lair.
It's a lair of octopuses, my guy. Like, that's definitely the only thing it is, right?
Just step into the den. And by step into the den, I mean move through my hallway of death. You know, move through the trophies of my conquered foes, please.
That's, boy, when you put it that way, I kind of want a lair. That's impressive. Right? Yeah,
that's what you got to do. That's how you lead the eye into the room. If there's anything I've learned by watching hours and hours of HGTV, it's that you want to guide the eye through the space, right? We all want open living areas.
That's SKHGTV, Serial Killers Home and Garden Television.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I never watch it at home, but if I'm in like a hotel or at the dentist's office or like in an airplane, like that's the first channel I turn on.
Oh yeah, every dentist office has it. That's every dentist,
and and I love it because they'll have like that really cute. What's the name of the couple? The sweet Southern couple that shows you like how did they always draw the runes?
Oh, the natural born killers.
Yeah. And they always use reclaimed wood and also reclaimed body parts, and it's fun because it makes it seem attainable. You know what I mean? Like it makes the home scene attainable, but it also like. It's kind of aspirational because I love their love.
You love their love and you feel like you can do it. You want to be a flipper of corpses.
Yeah. I want to flip people upside down by chains and drain them of their blood. That's what it means to be a flipper. Yeah. You probably, if you haven't seen this network, you probably have it. Like it's like basic just cable.
Go to the dentist. Just schedule an appointment to the dentist.
It makes sense that it's always playing at the dentist because those people are sadists as well. So yeah, they built these themselves. They built them out of shells from creatures they ate. They built them from the carcasses. But what's interesting is like okay, this is clearly a food-rich environment, right? They're eating enough things. They have enough material to build these dens, this central hub of dens, but they're choosing to do it together. They could have built separate dens, within that area of food density, but they chose not to.
They're teaming up. They're making alliances. Yeah. They're working together, and they're not just working together, but cohabitating, right? Which requires long-term cooperation.
They are, but I will say, so they are seeing a lot of aggression between the octopuses, though. Gloomy octopus males seem to spend a great deal of time chasing each other out of dens. So here's the analogy.
This seems like a fucking frat is what this seems like, Anthony. Did we just find a fucking octopus frat?
Yeah, I think it might be an octopus frat. It's either an octopus frat, which, yeah, like, for sure. Because, like, oh, no, dude, we're all going to split a big house, and it's, like, super chill, and, like, don't worry about it. Like, we're all brothers here.
No worry. Dude, we're all the same. My trophy room is your trophy room.
Did you eat my fucking mollusk, bro?
What?
Did you eat my fucking... I labeled that mollusk, bro.
No, you put that in the community area, dude.
Bro, it doesn't matter. It's somebody moved into the community area. It doesn't matter. It was labeled, bro.
Listen, if it's in the community area, I'm going to eat it.
I'll fucking kill you, bro. I'll fucking kill you, dog.
You try it, bro. Step to this.
Yeah, it's either an octopus...
And by step, I mean float.
Yeah, just kind of squirm over to it is what we mean.
Yeah.
Undulate towards this is what they say. You trying to undulate towards this?
Yeah, you better squirt off.
Bro, I will shove you into a jar 1/20th of your size.
Oh, yeah? What? Guess what? I can easily unscrew the cap inside it.
I find that to be comfortable. That's a game I like to play. So what? It's either that or the first thing that popped into my head is like, when people are like in their 40s and they have to have, like, they live in a communal home, like they have a lot of roommates, and it's like, we are dealing with this because they live in like a big city and it's very expensive. And they're like, we're dealing with this, but it is fucking tenuous. It is fucking tenuous.
Yeah.
I remember going to in New York when I was still living there a million years ago. There was this big communal home in Park Slope where I was living at the time. And it was one of those places where it was like some ancient Park Slope manor when people were still building giant homes. And so it was like 16 people living there. And you had to like interview with all 16 of the people. And like everything was super itemized and like scheduled out. And everybody had specific things they had to do at specific times every day. Yeah. And like, it was like,
and you all had to carve swastikas into your forehead, and it was super. It was just a weird kind of place.
Beach Boys, and you had to really, really be into the Beatles. Like, no, it was like it was peaceful but tenuous. It was a mutually beneficial situation. We are all getting something out of this. We do not like each other necessarily, but we have agreed to this business-like arrangement of social interaction until somebody here pisses us off, and then they will be thrown out and we will destroy them because we actually hate that we have to do this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. We're both here until one of us freaks the fuck out. That's Octlantis, evidently.
That's Octlantis. That's Octopolis. So they don't, There are two theories on this. One is that, it is this kind of tenuous, mutually beneficial situation. But the fact that we found both of these cities within the last 20 years also probably means like there's just been an explosion of the technology that we use to explore the oceans recently.
Oh, we're just finding them better.
We're finding things better down there. You know what I mean? It's no longer as hard as it once was for the average person to get some deep diving camera drone and just like dick around with it down there and get clips of this stuff, right? It's become a cheaper, easier thing to do. But just because we're finding more of them and technology has improved doesn't mean we're going to find like all of a sudden an explosion of these things. The researchers think that congregations such as these, this is a quote, probably occur wherever shelter is limited to small patches of habitat and food is especially plentiful.
It's by necessity.
It's like I'm saying, it's that communal house in the middle of a big, expensive city.
Yeah.
If we got to do it to live here where the food is, listen, man, I've got Broadway dreams. I've got 8 tentacles. I've got 8 tap shoes, and this is where I belong. I'm moving to Octopolis to find my future.
Some of these octopuses need just to come out to Octofornia. You know what I'm saying? Like, move west to Octofornia. We got much more land out here. You can chill.
We get the work-life balance here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These East Coast octopuses, they don't get it.
Don't move to Los Oculus. You don't go there.
No, I mean, you can move to a surrounding area. I appreciate the hustle of an Octopolis or an Octlantis.
Well, of course. It's very invigorating to go to an Octopolis,
Sure.
but sometimes you just need to chill out in San Oct Frisco. You know what I'm saying?
No, that place sucks now, dude. So yeah, for the, most commonly, we do think that the gloomy octopus does like to den by itself. That is still an image that we can hold on to, accepting certain intense situations. That's what we're going to say. So I like to think of the lonely octopus murderer still. That's the octopus that I like to hold on to.
We'll never lose the lonely octopus murderer, because there's still plenty of gloomy octopuses out there murdering, eating by themselves, moving on to the next murder. Like Jack the Ripper, like Jack the Ripper,
like the Jack the Ripper of the sea. That's what they're called. Yeah. That's what Jacques Cousteau used to call them. And he was right.
Well, of course, he's always right. He's Cousteau.
Always right. Jacques fucking Cousteau. You can argue with me. You can argue with Jeff.
Yeah,
you can't argue.
You're not going to argue with Jacques fucking Cousteau.
No, because he's dead, and also because he was always right.
Also, the right thing was most important. But yes. Also, he's dead. Hey, is this worrisome? Is this a problem in any way, or we're cool with the octopuses that are they like chilling out? I guess they're still angry because they fight each other. But are there ramifications for us in any of these discoveries?
No, I mean, not that these researchers are saying, but I think you and I know that there are. I think you and I know that this just means that we're getting closer and closer to the inevitable day that they come to the shore for us.
Yeah. Are they going to have like Are they going to have an octopus Magna Carta down there? We're going to get an octopus renter's bill of rights or anything like that, or an octopus organizational structure in any kind of way, like an octopus. I
wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like, there were a couple studies recently. Like I'm sure you saw these where like corvids, ravens, crows, birds that we already knew are smart. We've found out that they're 10 times smart. The more we look into animals, the more we're like, oh, we thought they were this smart. They're 10 times smarter than that. Yeah. And then like every 10 years, we're like, oh shit. Turns out they're 10 times smarter than that. And like, eventually I think it's just going to be like, okay, we've been suppressing evidence that they've been like painting and writing poems. Cause like, we got to keep the food chain going. You know what I mean? But like, listen up, you've eaten a lot of like soulful poets in your time. And you've destroyed some real art.
Every order of fried calamari has been death to an artist.
A great architect. You know what I mean? Has been destroyed. I wouldn't be surprised if things are more, even schools of fish, like we found out they have social hierarchies and behaviors and intelligence that we long thought not possible for such simplistic, quote unquote, simplistic creatures. So, I mean, we already know that an octopus is smart. We've seen octopuses solve all kinds of problems, all kinds of tests. So, I maybe they're mean, but that doesn't mean they're not social and they're not organized and they're, they don't deserve a little more respect. And that doesn't mean they're not coming for us.
Get them on the housing and urban development problems. Get them on that. Use that. Let's figure some stuff out. Let's find a more efficient way to have undersea housing. I'll move to Octlantis if it's the rent is low and the convenience is high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do y'all think, concerned citizens? Would you rather fight one octopus-sized Jack the Ripper or 10 Jack the Ripper-sized octopuses? Let us know on Twitter or on Discord. Speaking of the Discord, I just want to shout out the Discord real quick. Our Discord server is a lovely place for everybody to go.
It really is.
We've been doing the Memento Mori channel, which has been, God, in the last couple of weeks, it's been extremely helpful to be doing that. We're all trying to watch our media consumption and our unhealthy internet consumption.
That's right. Our social media addiction, or at least mine, has been held in check by some folks in the Memento Mori channel. Thank you for those cool suggestions, the support, the moral, the emotional support. We're not, we joke a lot on this show, but that's not a joke. I'm honest in that. It like actually does help. We also have episode discussions, cool science news, Kids Ask Your Parents, just to walk down memory lane down in that channel. That's
for
fun.
For the last couple weeks as well. There's been a Sunday night Concerned Citizens Among Us game. Everybody gets together and plays Among Us, which is very fun. The Concerned Citizens always acting sus. If you'd like to join the Discord, by the way to do that is to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Supporting us for $1 a month or more gets you access to the Discord channel. $3 or more also gets you bonus audio every week. You can get things like early episodes, patron hangouts, all kinds of wonderful things. And it is the only way that we monetize the show and keep the show going. So if you want to find out more about that, patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. We appreciate all of your support.
Hey, Anthony, we're going to keep this episode under the sea, if you're okay with that.
Okay. Did that make you uncomfortable? It made me a little uncomfortable.
When I said under the sea?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay. All right. Just quoting a beloved Disney classic.
Yeah, something about you doing it. I don't know.
Oh, I did not do it well. No. I will say that. Anyway, we got this story posted on that Discord we were just talking about. There
2 for 2 on the Discord
Science News Channel. This was posted by our friend Mark Nuffer, who is old no name in the chat.
Old no nickname Nuffer.
That's right, old no nickname. I said it wrong. Anyway, we're gonna jump in the Wayback Machine a little bit, all the way back to World War II. World War II.
Everybody's dad's favorite war and television program choice. World War II.
And it was the Great War. And by great, we mean war. That we blew up a whole lot of shit.
Oh, phenomenal war. Just an amazing war.
A lot of shit blew up. But one thing in particular, this story focuses on, didn't blow up. And that is a bomb. There was a bomb that has recently been discovered, a tall boy, which was known as the earthquake bomb. Wow. Why? Because it was dropped specifically to detonate underground and cause horrible chain reaction.
Like on a fault line? Like
no, not actually cause earthquakes, but it felt like it was causing an earthquake because it would be dropped and it would reverberate over a massive distance, just destroying everything because it literally would like detonate under the ground and cause cause a seismic event.
So we know about Fat Man, we know about Little Boy.
Yeah.
This is Tall Boy.
Tall Boy.
Tall Boy.
This is, to give you an idea of what this thing is, it is 19 feet long and a giant ass bomb, 19 feet long, 2.4 tons of explosives, the equivalent to around 3.6 tons of TNT.
Wow.
It go boom real big.
And it was nuclear as well?
No, not nuclear. Just a big ass bomb. Just a big ass bomb. Yeah.
Okay.
So we found one of these, or by we, I mean Polish military divers. This thing was,
and we like to think of ourselves as honorary Polish military divers.
Yeah, we went through that whole online course, and I felt like we earned it.
I do too. I do too. There was that whole section on the quiz where we had to ask like where you put the screen door on a submarine.
That might be my favorite joke you've ever done on the show. Oh, that might be my favorite joke you have ever done. That was brilliant. That was amazing. Oh, so good. All right. Anyway, there was a section that used to be Germany, but is now Poland, in the far northwest part of Poland. And it turns out that this is a part of the Baltic Sea. This is a channel at of the Baltic Sea. Okay. And it turns out the Royal Air Force, a British Royal Air Force, dropped one of these tall boys on a Nazi warship in 1945, and they missed. It didn't go off, but it landed at the bottom of this channel, right? And no one knew exactly where it was, but the Polish military has found it, and it is completely preserved underwater, so much so that it's an active bomb.
No.
Yeah. So
3 tons, the equivalent to 3 tons of dynamite is just sitting down there like, tick-tock, motherfucker.
Tick-tock, ready to go off.
Some fucking octopus walks up to it, pokes it with a stick, and is just like, this is just step 1.
Exactly.
We're gonna use your own weapons against you, you fucking idiots.
They got the Octlantis military is rallying around.
The Octlantis military has figured out how to make large sticks, and that's all they need.
So check this out. The Polish Navy's 8th Coastal Defense Flotilla, which
my
that's
favorite
a fucking
flotilla
cool thing.
Yeah.
You got to have a favorite flotilla.
You know, some people will tell you that the 7th flotilla is where it's at, but like, look up the stats, and I think you'll find that the 8th flotilla owns. Oh,
you got to go 8th. You got to go 8th. If you're ranking them, you go 8th. You
go 8th first, 6th 2nd, 4th 3rd.
You know, it's the yeah. What do they call that that flotilla viewing order?
Oh, it's the machete order. It's the machete order of viewing the flotillas.
Yeah. Anyway, they're going to commence a operation under the water to defuse this bomb. No one has ever attempted anything like this. It is the first time they've found a bomb of this magnitude preserved like this under the sea. They are now evacuating 750 local residents from a area of 1.6 miles around the bomb.
Whoa.
The operation itself is expected to last up to 5 days because they're going pretty far underwater. I guess the nose of this thing is kind of sticking up out of the water, but they're going underwater far enough to make it very, very complicated.
Oh my gosh. If there's one thing I know from watching Warner Brothers cartoons, Jeff, it's that the nose is the splody bit. You take a tiny mallet to the nose and boop, and that's the fucking end of it. So how do we know how deep? Does it mention how deep underwater this is?
12 meters. Okay. It's 12 meters underwater. I think
that's not very deep.
So the first 2 or 3 days will be preparations. The bomb disposal divers will scrape around the bomb, which is embedded in the bottom of the channel at a depth of 12 meters. Only its nose is sticking out. Oh, so the nose isn't sticking out of the water. It's sticking out of dirt and shit,
the bedrock,
muck at the bottom.
Like 12 meters underneath the ocean.
So they have to dig this thing out first. And they say the tiniest vibration could detonate the bomb.
How did this go so long without being discovered?
I mean, who looks for a big-ass bomb? I don't know. It
seems like it's very close and very shallow, right? Like 12 meters. Like, I mean, that's like 50 feet, but it's like, that's not deep.
Yeah. It's crazy that there were 750 people living in a 1.6 mile radius of this thing. Like, for how long? Just, it could have gone off at any time.
Good Lord.
Right? And so the crazy thing too is they discussed just detonating the bomb to get rid of it, right? But they said doing that would destroy a bridge 500 meters away. So there's a bridge that it literally would just obliterate if they made this bomb go off.
Jesus.
So the interesting sciencey bit here is that the technique they're going to use to disarm this thing is called deflagration. And there's a difference between deflagration and detonation. And this is something that I didn't know until I researched this story. Deflagration is the process of something burning and spreading less than the speed of sound, slower than the speed of sound. So deflagration describes any kind of fire you want to have, any kind of fire you normally see, a forest fire, a fire in your fireplace, even internal combustion in an internal combustion engine. Or
I thought it was when a lawyer is trying to say that somebody was having an affair. No, that's
he's been deflagrating my wife.
That's in flagrante delicto. Sorry.
Yeah, but that also can spread like wildfire too, man. You tell one person and they all know about it.
Yeah, everybody knows that bomb's been sleeping with your wife.
Hey, 19 feet. I don't know.
So deflagration is...
So deflagration is the normal spread of fire, even like inside a gun when you pull the trigger on a gun and it combusts, propelling the bullet out of the gun.
In the movie, when the dude drops the match into the thing and the flame radiates out in slow motion.
Exactly.
That's deflagration.
So deflagration perfect. That's perfectly explained. Basically, deflagration means an expansive flame out in all directions, right? It expands from the center as long as there's fuel. So that thing that we all have in our head, that moment in the movie where the gasoline is on the ground and Nicolas Cage lights the match and drops it in and it just starts moving through the fuel of the gasoline, right? That's deflagration. Now, we contrast that
I love the idea of
detonation.
I love Nicolas Cage teaching science, by the way, as an idea. I think that's great.
That needs to be
I'm going to drop the match. I'm going to drop the match. Oh,
that's pretty good. A pretty good Cage you got there. So we contrast that with detonation. Detonation is when an explosion, what is the awesome word? Hang on a second. When an exothermic process happens, it just means a release of heat, but it happens faster than the speed of sound. It basically means that heat is pushing sound waves. And that's why in that part, when the gasoline finally gets to the whole gas station and Nicolas Cage turns around and walks blithely toward the camera, a couple of other people as it explodes, are pushed, right? They fly away from the explosion because it's not because the fire pushed them away. It's because the sound waves, they're pushed by the impact of those waves.
Yeah, the explosive energy is at subsonic speeds, which causes what feels like a physical force.
Exactly. And it really is a physical force, right? That's the destructive element of a detonation. That's why you see this shock wave that expands out of, you see a big TNT explosion in a movie or old, newsreel footage of a big TNT explosion. You see that shock wave that precedes the fire. It really, that's the most destructive force. That's what levels houses and, all trees and stuff in those videos. So that is the problem. That is what they're trying to avoid with this bomb. So they're trying to disarm it by causing a deflagration inside the bomb rather than a detonation. So they're basically trying to burn the combustion that would detonate the bomb slower than the speed of sound.
So they shook up a soda bottle. And instead of taking the cap off all at once, they're gonna do that thing where you slowly twist off the cap.
Exactly.
And just wait for it to...
That's all the difference.
Yeah, okay. And now how do you do that with a bomb?
That is the perfect analogy, because we do not want this soda to spray on our faces. And in this analogy,
everybody will laugh. Everybody at the table will laugh at us. The whole cafeteria.
Well, that analogy, that is the town and surrounding area being decimated.
Yeah, and in this very real memory, it's me sitting across from Jennifer McGrath, and I was like, if I embarrass myself in front of Jennifer McGrath, this is going to be a huge problem. You do not
want anything to detonate in front of.
No, she's beautiful, but she's
McGrath.
Real mean girl. So how do you do this with a bomb, Jeff?
Well, they are using a remotely controlled device to pierce through the shell of the bomb and initiate combustion in very specific areas at a very slow speed. So they're
I feel like a youth pastor is explaining sex to me right now.
Yeah, when Jennifer McGrath and you like each other very much, you initiate a controlled.
So this is like
combustion.
they're gonna drill into the shell of this thing
underwater. Yep.
Underwater, and hopefully they drill in such a way that some of the explosive pressure comes out of the hole before it actually explodes.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to set it off in a way that is slow speed explosion.
It's better for everyone that way. You can't just think of yourself. You can't just think of yourself.
You got to slow it down.
You got to slow it down.
Now I have
a lot of people think about baseball, but I don't really know about sports, so that's never worked for me in defusing a bomb.
Yeah, right. Sometimes you can just do complex math or think of your mom or dead puppies.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do either of those last ones. I don't like that. And neither does the bomb squad. I think the whole bomb squad will tell you that's not cool. That's not healthy.
Not cool.
So this is a process that you say is going to take multiple days.
Yeah. There's a few days of just kind of digging out and making room for the remote controlled, bomb machine. And then there's a couple of days of, sweaty attempts. Try not to blow this thing up. Now check out this bit of information. This to me is what makes this story so 2020. So they told all these folks, 750 people in the area that you should probably leave for a while. We're going to set you up in a shelter for a while we do this because we want to make sure that you don't go boom if the bomb go boom. And some residents, including this woman named Helena Paskowska, said she is not going to leave. Why? Because the danger of going boom in a giant 2-ton bomb explosion is less to her than the danger of catching COVID-19 in the shelter where residents are being held during the operation.
Good Lord.
I know, right?
Good. Okay. When you were getting through that, I thought we had like a Centralia, Poland thing going on, right? Where they were just like, I've always lived here. And they were like, no, of course, I'll leave. I'm going to go, what? It's going to explode? Sure. I'm fucking out of here. Except
I got to sit in a room with 750 complete strangers. And this Paskowska lady said she has to look after her 88-year-old mother. Mm-hmm. And she said, I've lived here 50 years and there have been other bombs, but this is the first time there's been an evacuation.
There have been other bombs. Hey, Helena, speak more on that. Helena, that's you glossed over something real important to me right there, Helena.
If you're living in a former World War II battle zone, you just got bombs everywhere, Baltic. Baby.
Wow. Wow. That's wild to me. I was just like, they're fishing another fucking bomb out of the Baltic.
Yeah. Jeez. So this is the first time they've had to be evacuated. And they are also closing down waterways for 16 kilometers around the bomb disposal operation.
Well, you think about this. You think about what she's saying. She's 50. Her mom's 88, right? Or she's been living there for 50 years. She's at least 50 years old. Her mom's 88. Yeah, man. I either die instantaneously from a bomb blast or this virus, the odds are it's going to kill us at our age. We go slowly and painfully. Fucking detonation all the way, baby.
Yeah.
I'll take the detonation. Right? Quick and painless.
What a world we're living in.
In my house, doing my puzzle.
A 2-ton bomb is the less scary notion than just being in a room with 750 other people.
Well, now we've talked. I think we've touched on this a little bit, Jeff. And you and I have said a million times, we will cling to life by the skin of our teeth until the very last.
Absolutely,
that's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Which would you go with, the shelter or the bomb?
Oh my God, This
is the first time they've ever tried to detonate a bomb this way.
Yeah.
The shelter or the bomb?
I think you make a pretty solid point about the bomb being quick, at least. I don't know, man. I don't know.
2020, get fucked.
I think exactly. This is the 2020 decision right here. Decision 2020. Which way do you want to go?
Just get fucked.
I feel like I would try to come up with a plan C where I literally let's just get in the car and go with 88-year-old grandma and try to get someplace that's not this facility, with the 750 other folks. I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah. Man, that's a wild decision. Well, what are they? I mean, there's a danger of it going off. How big do they say this danger is? How likely is that? How confident are they? I mean, I
think they wouldn't do it if they weren't fairly confident, right? I mean, it doesn't say that they're expecting it to go boom, but they're evacuating everybody and making sure that no one's around in 16 miles on the waterway.
The thing that kind of freaks me out about this is, so they found the bomb, and it's active, right? Yeah, it's active, but nobody's come across it until now. But after they found it, they looked at it and they said, what this entire procedure means is they looked at it and they said, oh fuck, that thing's gonna go off.
I know, right? You don't even attempt this unless you go, we need to do this.
Yeah, it's not an if, it's a when. These people were sitting on a when this whole time.
That's insane, dude. They're sitting there for 60 years? Just
60 years.
TikTok.
TikTok, baby. TikTok, baby. Wow. That's stressful. I mean, one thing that I can say that's interesting, it's funny. I pictured divers having to go down there and some sort of underwater bomb squad, cutting wires and shit like that. It's so funny how we picture these things because it's a fucking robot. It's a remote control robot. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Of course. Yeah.
So that's,
exactly.
I mean,
but they have to dig it out. They have to excavate this thing and make a channel for the robot to get into it. But then, they're probably sitting miles away, operating this thing remotely.
God, who has to dig that channel? That's not a job. That's not a job I want.
That is not a job. It's the fucking,
we
said who?
8th flotilla, man. It's the 8th flotilla.
Yeah,
that's why they're the
fucking
best.
8th flotilla. That's why they know their shit, man.
Wow. When is this supposed to be done by? When does this happen?
Where is it? That's a good question. This article was posted October 12th.
Okay.
They
could be blown up by now.
They could all be blown up.
Hold on, let me look up. What's the name of the town? Let me look it up.
You're going to make me say the name of this town?
Let's see. You look it up. You have it in front of you. You look it up. See if they're blown up. Put it into Google News.
The town is spelled SWINOUJSCIE.
Oh, there's a beach there there's a ferry. People really love this. There's a little plaza. Oh, that's great.
I put it into Google Maps and it's just a big hole now.
It's fine. I mean, I guess there was a plaza. It looks lovely. Yeah. Okay. As of 11 hours ago, as of 12 hours ago, Tall Boy has still not been removed. We're recording this on October 12th. Tall Boy has not been removed.
Yeah, they're just doing the evacuation is underway now. They want to start they're starting preparations. I guess I'm guessing it'll happen in the next month or so.
I would imagine you'd want to do it pretty quickly once you know that there's a literal ticking time bomb. I mean, that's the metaphor, right? There's a reason that's the metaphor.
Oh, I found another article. Listen to this quote. We're leaving next week. We were afraid the children should go to school and they would have to drive past it every day. So there's a little bit of fear.
Yeah, a little bit. So my kids are driving, but this is such a wild, God, if I was writing a movie right now and I wanted a metaphor, a Twilight Zone style, over the top metaphor for COVID, it would be like this town was built over a bomb, but they live with the bomb. And they decided that the bomb is their friend. And the kids have to walk by the bomb every day to go to school.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little on the nose.
Hey,
the nose, Anthony.
Yeah. Rod Serling would be like, I'm going to take this one back and workshop it. This is maybe it's this isn't subtle enough, I don't think. Wow.
It sounds like they're doing it next week. It says the operation is scheduled for 5 days from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., but it may end faster. Thursday and Friday are so-called backup
Of course
dates.
They'd start at 7 a.m. Could they please have a little respect for the neighbors? if you're going to start, like at least on the weekends, you got to start at 9.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If I've chosen to stay here and get exploded, I don't want to get exploded at 7 a.m. I want my sleep.
If I have to get woken up by another bomb defusal, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
Wow. This is God, man. Just one more thing. Just one more fucking thing.
Yeah.
In the year of our Lord 2020.
Anyway, maybe we'll be able to move in to Octlantis and avoid all of this someday. Because, the land of men is a little bit much right now.
This quote from like one of the officials that it's very delicate. The machine must not move. No shock is allowed. The slightest vibration risks triggering the explosion.
2020. The slightest vibration risks triggering the explosion. 2020.
2020. It's just like, come on, man. Too on the nose. Yeah. This whole thing is too on the nose. That's wild. Well, I guess we'll check in on this impronounceable town. Unpronounceable to us. Apologies.
Yeah, I would love for someone to explain to me how to pronounce that. SWINOUJSCIE. Whew. That's something. That's
something. And God bless you. God bless you all. Yeah, man, that's wild that we're still finding stuff like that from 60 years ago. And there's no.
Can you imagine if it was just the bomb had gone off at some point and no one knew that there had been a bomb there, and literally there's just this massive explosion? Just God, awful.
Wow. Awful. Yeah, like, man, there are two things that like are going through my head right now. Like, number one, there's still look, man, war is still about dropping bombs. There's no treaty. There's no anything that stops you from bombing other people. Like this is the sort of shit that still goes on and could affect, like just like anything else in war will affect. We're seeing generations down the line. These people are being affected by this thing that happened in the 40s,
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's just so crazy to me. It's just so crazy to me. Hey everyone. Everything's going to be fine, though.
Yeah. There's nothing to worry about.
Things are going to be good.
Yeah.
The kids, it's all fine. The kids aren't going to go to school past the bomb.
No. And also, hey, maybe vote. Maybe vote. Just throwing that out there. Just vote.
I don't know how much effect we have on the Baltic by voting, but like, I hope
it's worth a shot.
It's worth a shot. You know what I mean? I'm putting a lot of faith in voting this year. You know, like I might be ascribing certain things to voting that it just can't do. And maybe one of them is like helping out the Baltic, but I think maybe it would help out the Baltic. Voting here in America.
Can't hurt.
It can't hurt. I mean, listen, there are two. Listen, you know who doesn't want you to vote? The fucking GOP and the octopuses. Like, that's who doesn't want you to vote.
That's right. Yeah. And Jack the Ripper.
It's all the same. I just said the same thing 3 different ways. This is an award-winning science podcast. We're impartial about everything. Listen.
Impartial.
Hey, everyone. It's fine. It's all fine. Think less about the bombs that are all over the place and more about the whimsical octopus cities that we talked about in the first story. And, come visit us on the Discord. Come hang out.
Yeah, that's where we can all work all through this together. There's good folks. Good folks. You'll find faith in humanity inside our Discord. And just let any old person in there.
No, and just like all other places that say that they will help you find your faith, we require money.
Yeah, we learned from the best. Just give us a little bit of your money every month, and you will find faith inside our Discord.
It is the only, in all seriousness, it is the only way that we fund the show. It is this is a more, it's more than a part-time job for me during this lockdown period. So it has really, really helped us both in huge ways, and we appreciate it. And, so if you can, head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Give $1, get access to the Discord, give a little more, get a little more. But, we also understand that money is tight and things are weird, and it's 2020 and there are bombs and octopuses everywhere in places we can't see. So if you don't have money, one of the best things you can do is just spread the word, share a link to the podcast, tell your friends, share it online. That is so, so helpful. And it means so much to us because it means that you like the show enough that you're willing to put your name behind it. And that means a lot to us because we We like to think, we hope that we're making a show that you don't mind putting your name behind.
Exactly. Proselytize the show is what we're saying. Have faith in us and then proselytize.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. And we will, in a few weeks, we're working out how to sell indulgences, and that will come. Until then, please check out patreon.com/wehaveconcerns.